So we love catching up with former Buccaneer players, and I feel like you have such an incredible second act to your career that, I mean, it was already incredible what you had done as a player, and then now what you have done since then, especially staying here in the Tampa community, is so incredible. So first, I'd love to start by talking about your Spanish radio job. This is such a unique way to get to stay around this team, and you guys do an amazing job at it. So tell us how that job came about and what it's been like for you.
Well, first, I wouldn't call it a job because I love it so much. So everything I've been doing has been it's been a lot of fun. With that, there was talk about doing Spanish radio for years, and it would happen, and it never happened, and never happened. So all of a sudden, I get a call. I meet with Neil, which owns the station, and we have a lunch, and from there, it's just this will be our fifth year. I love it because it makes me feel closer to the team. We go to every game, we broadcast every game. You know, you get to see the guys, talk to the guys. So, and then Carlos is by far the best play-by-play. I think hands down. I mean, his excitement, the way he views the game, and he's just appreciative because he's never done football before that, and he went straight to doing NFL games. So, we're having an awesome time with it, and it doesn't hurt to win games. And to call a Super Bowl in our own stadium with my team, that was by far the highlight of the whole thing.
That's incredible. And for people who don't listen to Spanish radio, tell us the difference in what you would hear on the English-speaking radio versus the Spanish-speaking radio and what makes it so unique.
Well, the excitement of the play-by-play, Carlos called every sport but football, so his is almost like a soccer game. You know, he's very energetic, very fast, you know, explaining, and he's trying to paint that picture that you have to do on the radio. And then with me, it may slip up because I'm a fan. So there's been times that we had to beat me, you know, and I remember the one time specific was when Mike Evans hyperextended his knee in the end zone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, something beeped out.
I think that was worth a beep, you know?
That was definitely worth a beep. Luckily, it wasn't anything serious. So, but every now and then, Carlos' eyes get really big. He's looking at me like, "Oh, you just said that." I was like, "Oh, sorry. I hope nobody understands."
Yeah, we'll hope that people that speak English are listening right then.
Exactly,
only, you know?
exactly.
And so, right now it is Hispanic Heritage Month, and what does it mean to you to get to combine the fact of you're around your team and then doing it in Spanish and getting to bring that part of the culture as well to this job?
Well, we have such a huge Hispanic community in the Tampa Bay area, but in the United States, period, but in Tampa Bay especially. For me, it's great because I had fans from Argentina following me, from Mexico. I had a huge fan. Actually, there's huge fans of the Bucs in Spain, in Europe, that you would never think. Through our radio app, they listen to all the games, and we get messages, so we open a page up where we get the messages so we can interact with them. So just be able to bring our Buccaneers to the Spanish community is just amazing.
And what has that meant to you to know that you have gotten to be a lot of people's representative for that getting to see someone that was part of their culture, winning a Super Bowl, calling a Super Bowl? What do you think that meant to you to realize, thinking back to your childhood or some of the other icons and people you looked up to, that you would get to be that for somebody in that culture?
I still can't believe it because a lot of people, it's kind of like when Ginobili was playing in the NBA. All the Argentinians were Spur fans because of him. So I felt the same way, and I got the messages, and for me it was like a dream come true because I always wanted to be a soccer player, and Maradona was my guy, and then Messi became my kid's favorite player, so we follow any team he plays for, that's who they cheer for. So I felt like a lot of the Argentinian fans that were fans of other NFL teams were saying, "No, I'm a Bucs fan now because you're on that team," or any Hispanic period. A lot of times in Mexico too, I would go to do some clinics in Mexico, and they're like, "No, we love the Bucs just because you're there." So for me, it was like, I felt the pressure of having to represent all the Hispanics the proper way, but it was a good pressure to have.
That's amazing. And now you are not only doing, you've done football, now you're doing football, and so you've done 2 languages, now you're doing 2 sports. What can't you do at this point? So tell me about this new job you now have as a coach.
That's something that came out of nowhere. I never expected to have that offer, and to be able to coach this inaugural year for our men's and women's indoor team. For me, it's just because that was my first passion, my first love was soccer. I started playing soccer when I was 3 in Argentina, so to be able to come back and coach at that level in my hometown, that's the only way it would work. I wouldn't move anywhere to coach because I want to be here with my family, my kids. We love Tampa, so because it's a Tampa team and it's the sport that I love, I can't be happier.
And if you could have looked back when you were first starting your NFL career and to see where you are now in terms of not only how your NFL career went, but everything you've been able to do since then and the community work as well that you do around here, what would this have meant to you to see where football was going to take you?
I never thought where it would take me, but I'm very thankful for the Tampa Bay community, thankful for the Glaciers for trusting in me and drafting me here, because I wanted to come to Tampa because my brothers were going to USF, and then Santiago, my youngest brother, ended up going to USF as well. I met my wife at USF, so Tampa's home, and I grew up 2 hours south of the Fort Myers area, LaBelle, so coming to Tampa was where I wanted to go, but you know, obviously when they draft you, go wherever, but for me to end up where I wanted to go was just amazing. And I want to thank, you know, Coach Dungy, Joe Marciano, that had the confidence to draft me, and just to be able to be home and look forward now. I mean, we had the greatest coach ever, and Tony Dungy, teach us how to do charity work, because I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know what it meant to be a part of the community, because in college you have that schedule that's 100 miles an hour from training and school, and you just don't have the time. We're here. Coach Dungy made sure that we were better people off the field, and that's what he cared about the most. And I thank him for that, because that's what makes a lot of the guys in the area stay and do a lot of the work.
And so we'll close with this. Tell us about the work that you have done to share with everybody what has become your passion in terms of off the field.
Well, I have my foundation where we build homes for combat wounded veterans. That's been the thing that we've done lately, and it's just, but it's not our foundation, it's the community, and like I said, everybody plays a part of it. But to be able to, you know, give a home to a wounded veteran, and they're so appreciative and so thankful. And the first recipient comes to mind is Charlie Lemon, who's part of the family now. He's part of our board as well. He thanks us every time he sees us, and I said, "You're crazy. You gave up 2 legs and your best friend for us. There's no thanking us. You know, we're thanking you for what you do." And to be able to say thank you through building a home, it's nice for us and nice for the community, but we just appreciate our men and women that gave up so much for our freedoms.
And to you, just at this point, what are the things that you feel like you're most proud of what you've been able to accomplish?
Well, my family, my wife and kids. You know, that's to be able to pick the right wife, because not easy these days. I'm very thankful that I did that, and I have 3 great kids. You know, Nico, our oldest, is a great role model for his younger brother G. That they're teammates together. One's the holder for the older brother, which as a kicker, I'm stressing because it's stressful. It's not only stressful being a kicker, but being a parent of a kicker is even worse. And then my daughter, my princess, she's the best. She loves flag football and soccer. So. Just the family that we've created, and be able to share that with my brother Santiago in the area too, because he lives here, his kids play soccer together, that to me is more important than anything.